Hi, so welcome to this session for your chair yoga class. So today's session is all around standing. So first of all, when we're sitting in our chair, I'm just going to turn around, I'm not going to move my whole chair. It's really important that we sit where possible with our back away from the chair. That's going to start to wake up our core muscles, our pelvic floor muscles, and it's going to help a little bit with our posture. If you do need the back of the chair for support, please feel free to use it. And we are going to make sure that our feet are flat to the floor. So if you are a little bit short in the leg, like I am, you might need to pop some blocks underneath those feet just to make you a little bit more supported, but we do not want those feet hanging, okay? So we're finding space in the space between our ribs and our hips. Just a gentle starting to awaken through the spine. We're going to drop the shoulders down, and we're going to start by bringing attention to our breath, which is one of our key focuses with any yoga class. So nothing needs to be too exciting here. We're just going to notice your breath coming in. It doesn't matter if it's through your nose or mouth. And then as you're breathing out, that breath is just going to let go. So we're inhaling and exhaling, okay? Allow the shoulders to be a little bit soft. We're just going to warm up through the torso for a little bit. So we're going to inhale, we're going to spread the arms only as far as it feels comfortable for you. Some of you might get to shoulder height, or you may get all the way up to the sky. We want to make sure that we can't see those hands as we breathe in, and then as we're breathing out, we're going to bring those arms down. If it's a little bit easier for you to inhale and float the arms up in front of you, that's also okay. Or as you're inhaling, we can always bring those arms back. So you've got those three options. So using the breath in to raise hands either up to the sides, in front, or behind, and then allowing your breath out just to bring those hands back into center. We're going to do 2 more rounds here, inhaling to find space and exhaling to release. We're going to do 1 more round as you feel comfortable. And breathing out. Well done. Awesome work. From here, we're going to start to warm up through the neck. So we're going to slowly bring our ear to our shoulder, our chin to our chest, our ear to our shoulder. If you're comfortable with this, you can bring your head backwards. And then we're going to slowly circle back in the opposite direction. So trying to keep the jaw and the forehead nice and soft and relaxed as we gently circle in either direction. Well done. We're going to do 1 more circle either way, still allowing that breath to flow in and out. And then as you're comfortable, returning back into center. We're just going to slowly lift the shoulders up towards our ears, slide them down our spine, okay? Doesn't need to be forceful, it's just nice and easy. Shrug up if you can while you're breathing in. And as we're breathing out, we're just going to bring those shoulders down. We're going to do 1 more round as you're comfortable. Beautiful work. Awesome. Okay, warming up those toes now. So you might have seen me already wiggling my toes. We're going to see if we can lift them up 1 at a time, still breathing. And then we're going to bring them down 1 at a time. So I'm starting from inside out to come up, and then coming from outside in to go down. Or you could go outside in to come up, and then inside out to come down. Now this is actually much harder than what you realize, so if you're at home struggling with this, it's okay. Sometimes you've got to really look at those feet, still using our nice relaxed shoulders, nice relaxed face as we start to wake up those feet. Good work. And then from here we're going to lift up through our heels, coming down onto our heels, lifting the balls of our feet off the floor. Now if this is feeling too easy for you, you can always progress it by doing the exact same things in a standing way. But we're just starting in the seat today just to make life easy. So we're lifting those heels up and then bringing them down, and then bringing either the toes or the balls of your feet up towards you. Awesome work. 1 more round here. Still breathing. And then coming back. Well done. And then into center now. We're going to practice scooping through the core. We're going to lift 1 leg up. Notice how my torso stays stable. I'm not leaning to the side or leaning backwards. I'm staying nice and balanced as I bring that leg up, placing the foot down, and then slowly lifting the other leg. There shouldn't be any catches in the front of your hips. Now sometimes if you need to, you can actually press those little bulgy bits that pop up at the front of the hips, and that's just going to help remove a little bit of the tension. Also try and keep the knee in line with the hip rather than letting it cross into the midline. That's really going to cramp your style. And again, you can do this from a standing position if you want to add a little bit more challenge. From here, still maintaining our nice long posture, our nice relaxed shoulders, our soft face, lifting our leg, we're going to start to circle our foot one way and then back in the other. And if you want a really fancy pants way of doing this, you could look at squeezing those toes, stretching those toes out as you want to wake up those feet. And again, you can do more or less as it feels comfortable for you. We can do this on the other side. Another option is also to be doing this standing. See if you can maintain your breath as you're sitting here, moving through your ankle, warming up those ankles. And again, if you want to add a little bit more challenge, you can lift the resting foot off the ground, which adds a lot more challenge to your balance. You'll be surprised. And we're going to do 2 more circles here. Well done. Awesome work. Now I'm just going to turn my chair so you can see me sideways. If you're at home, don't feel like you have to. We're going to be practicing now coming up into a straight leg position. So we're going to be keeping our nice long torso. We're going to float the leg up off the floor. Keep your hand resting gently on your thigh just to keep it stable. And then we're going to see if we can straighten the knee, bend at the knee, and then put the leg down. Okay, so see how the torso stays super stable. I'm still breathing nice and easily. This is just going to start to warm up the top of your thighs. If you'd like to start to feel the back of your thighs, sometimes you do have to touch them. So you can hold on to the back of that thigh, particularly when you're bringing your heel in. See if you can kind of squeeze those muscles. We're going to do 1 more either side as you feel comfortable. Good work. Lifting up, straightening out, and then coming back in. Awesome work. Now we're coming into squats, but I just want to talk a little bit about our thighs, because sometimes what happens is as we lose a little bit of strength in our legs, we tend to drop the knees in as we're going to come up to standing, and that's going to end up hurting our backs, our knees, and our hips. So what you want to kind of imagine is that before you come up to standing, we're always going to think about having our feet a little bit wider than what you think you need them, and we're going to imagine that we're pushing out against the thighs. So let's just do a little bit of a warm up around that. So we're placing our hands on the outsides of our thighs, weight through all of your foot, and then we're going to push those legs out against our hands. So at the same time, I'm trying to squeeze in with my hands as we push those legs out. And then we also want to wake up the inner thigh muscles too. So then we place our hands to the inside of those thighs, keep a straight wrist so it doesn't affect any arthritis in your wrist. And then we're going to try and close those thighs. It takes a little bit of arm strength here as I'm trying to push outwards with those hands. And we're going to do that 1 more time either side. So we're trying to push out, so we're waking up the muscles in our buttocks, the outsides of our thighs, our core, and our pelvic floor. And then we're sliding the hands to the inside, trying to squeeze those legs in. Well done. Awesome work. So hopefully they're nice and warm now. And we're going to be keeping those knees in line. What I mean by in line is they go on the same train tracks as your feet. So see how I'm scooching my booty forwards for our sit to stand. So we're making sure our feet are wide. I've got a good distance between my foot and the chair, which can be a little bit scary. And then I'm actually going to hinge from the hips. So we're just going to warm up this movement too. So we're hinging directly from the hips, keeping my body straight. There's a little bit of a scoop and pull up from my tummy. There's no kind of rounding in my back. And then I'm going to reach backwards. Okay, see how my back is nice and straight here? I'm not arching it, I'm not lifting my chin. We're going to reach forwards, keeping that nice strong core, and then reach backwards. Beautiful work. If this is feeling too easy, you can always lift 1 or 2 feet off the floor for this as well. But this might be surprisingly just right where you are. So when we're ready to come up to standing, knees are in the same line as my feet, so sometimes I have to adjust my feet for my knees. My heels are a comfortable distance away from the chair. I've got my nice strong core, my nice relaxed shoulders, and I hinge forwards from the hips. Now this is where we're going to get these bad boy muscles in the back working. So we're going to lean forward, so you literally tip forwards, and then squeezing these muscles, we're going to push ourselves up to standing, okay? Now the tendency here as we come back to seated is to twist, but we're going to try and imagine that we know the chair's there, it's not going to go anywhere. We're going to squeeze our tummy, we're going to hinge those hips back like you're going to the bathroom, push those hips all the way down, gracefully place ourselves back on the seat. Then we repeat, hinge forwards from the hips, nice strong back, pressing up through those feet, coming up to standing. And again, pressing back through the hips, nice and strong to come down. It's nice and quiet, there's no plonk. One more, pressing up, coming back to standing, and then pressing down. Now the slower you go, the harder this will be. The faster you go, the easier it is. And then we're going to come up to standing. Well done. Okay, from here, I'm just going to use my chair either to my side or in front of me for balance. It's a little bit easier for me when I'm standing just to have my chair to the side. And I'm going to have those feet nice and shoulder width apart, okay? The wider your feet are, the more balanced you're going to be and the more strong you're going to be. And from here, we're just going to lengthen the spine up. We want to imagine that our head is in line with our shoulders, with our chin parallel to the floor. My shoulders are nice and broad, and they're lined up in line with my hips and my heels. Well done. And that has got to be our warm-up just to coming up to standing.